go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Darrell Hayhurst. I worked at AOL. I don't even remember the years. I was on the phones for about a year, and then I worked MHI. Then I was mostly in the knowledge engineering group, KEG, for the rest of my career there.
Right on. So when's the first time that you ever used a computer?
Well, I saw a computer, it was in the early 90s, and I was really super jealous. Actually, it was earlier than that. It was in the 80s. And I was super jealous of my friend who had the computer. It was a Tandy that ran off a cassette tape. And we did not have such a thing. And I was jealous. I always wanted to go visit that friend so we could play like Propellers or whatever the stupid game was at the time. And then we finally got a PC on ours. But I was not a computer expert when I came to work at AOL. I was a minor user and didn't think I would be hired because I didn't know much at all.
I think we were all kind of in that boat. So that kind of does bleed into the second question. You gave me kind of an answer there, but when's the first time you owned a computer and how did you get it?
Yeah, so I bought my own computer. I took out a loan from my parents out of high school to buy, there was like an 8086 and it had a turbo button so you could click the button.
Right, it would up the megahertz, right?
That's right. That was a hell of a machine, yeah, with its and an Elite 28.8 modem, it was great. So I could run my AOL 3.0 had just come out when I had it.
Nice, so it gets a little deeper here, okay? So how has technology changed your life?
So the big change was that when I went to work at AOL, I didn't know anything, right? And I went through the training and they taught me and I'm like, oh, actually I'm not as dumb as I think. Like I can get this. And I just kept learning as I went and advanced more and more through that company. And so when I left AOL, because when we all left, when they fired us, I kept going to work in tech jobs for the longest time. And you have to stay ahead of it. You have to keep learning and keep knowing. So, for 20 years, I was working in tech, and it absolutely changed my entire life because it was my career for so long.
Right, and I've heard a lot of folks say that tonight too, that we learned a lot there. The skill set, it was an education, it was a college, it was a, however you want to look at it.
Yeah, so, and even now, even though I don't deal in tech, I deal in writing and things like that, but the things that I learned and the adjacent technology that I know how to do has just given me a skill set that my peers don't have.
Right.
And has been very valuable to me.
All right, so what do you expect from future technology?
I expect future technology to become essentially magic, right? Like operating systems are going to be invisible. We're just going to tell the machines what we want to have happen, and they'll make it happen.
That's good. It's the best one I've heard, definitely. So what did you not see coming?
What did I not see coming in regards to AOL or
into technology?
In tech. So I gave up a long time ago on trying to predict tech, right? Because it's exponentially increasing. So almost nothing, like everything it does can surprise me, but nothing is surprising that it will be able to do. Like it will be magic. We will have no idea what's coming.
So you think it can solve all problems?
I think it can, yeah.
So last question here. So how did AOL change your life?
I met a lot of amazing friends at AOL, and I learned a skill set that has served me well in many different careers since.
Go ahead and introduce yourself one more time.
Yeah, this was Darrell Hayhurst with KEG, Knowledge Engineering Group.
Thank you, man.